The National Football League is one of America's prestigious professional leagues in the country. There is no denying about that. However, the league can be expanding their market to a country near you very soon. As of today, the NFL has seen popularity in other regions outside of the United States, such as Latin America with Mexico and Sao Paulo, and Europe with the United Kingdom and Germany. As the league proposed 3 more international games starting from the 2025 season with Madrid, Dublin, and Melbourne, we begin to wonder, when will the NFL have a market in my country? As an NFL fan from Singapore, way outside of the United States, I will elaborate that question from my perspective and find out if Singapore is popular enough to garner attention from the NFL. Without further ado, let's begin. Before we begin today's video, let's talk about why I decided to discuss about this topic. It all started on April the 22nd, 2025. I was tuning into the morning show on the radio. If you're already familiar with the morning show my CD collection video, then you've already understood the context. At around 8:30 AM, the 2 DJs asked their listeners if they were a nerd on a specific trend or topic. This came after the popularity of the WWE's WrestleMania that was live on Netflix. I decided to hop in and drop the message that I've been an NFL fan since Super Bowl 58, the day that the Chiefs won back-to-back. Since then, I delved deep into the NFL's history, including the greatest achievements and legendary players such as Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. Upon dropping the message, the DJs called me a few minutes later. I happily accepted the call and I explained about my nerdiness with the National Football League. As such, my points in this video will be based on my chat with the radio DJs on that day. With that being said, let's get real. Hey, it's editing me here, so just a quick super early prediction on the Super Bowl before the meat and potatoes. But the DJs have asked me about the winner of Super Bowl 60 next year, even though I wanted the Chiefs to go back to the Super Bowl and win again after the loss at 59. I don't see that happening. Like, if we know about history, it is that it can repeat itself. So, worst case scenario, the Chiefs miss the playoffs and Mahomes will have his first losing season. So basically like the repeat of the 08 Patriots after losing the Super Bowl, like with the 07 Patriots. Whereas best case scenario, the Chiefs clinch the playoff berth, but they will fall short with an overtime loss at the AFC Championship. You know, like the 2021 Chiefs after losing Super Bowl 55 with the 2020 Chiefs. As for my super early Super Bowl winner, I would say the Green Bay Packers. So there's this conspiracy theory lying around about this Green Bay Packers Super Bowl wins and of course the age 27. So to begin with, Bart Starr won the first Super Bowl at age 27. Brett Favre won Super Bowl 31 at age 27. Aaron Rodgers won Super Bowl 45 at age 27. Meanwhile, current Packers quarterback Jordan Love will be 27 years old when the 2025 season commences. As such, I would not be surprised if Jordan Love wins Super Bowl 60 and the Super Bowl MVP title at the age of 27, becoming the 3rd consecutive starting quarterback to win at least one Super Bowl after Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. So at this point, it just feels like it's not even a coincidence anymore. There's like this feeling that history is about to repeat itself, and this is what the Green Bay Packers is all about. Literally, like every quarterback that's like 27 years old and are basically like playoff contenders like Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, these quarterbacks that reach 27 years old has a guarantee of winning a freaking Super Bowl. So yeah, I've announced my super early prediction on the Super Bowl winner to the radio DJs and to everyone here in this video. If the Green Bay Packers actually win the Super Bowl next year, you heard it first in this video. Call me crazy all you want, but write this shit down, and after Super Bowl 60, come back to this video and you tell me that I'm not crazy. It doesn't matter which AFC team is going to be taking on the Green Bay Packers. Whether it's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs, the Baltimore Ravens, the Buffalo Bills, the Cincinnati Bengals. None of that shit is going to win but the Green Bay mother-loving Packers, and Jordan Love will become the third straight starting quarterback after Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers to win at least one Super Bowl. And we have found ourselves the four horsemen of Green Bay quarterbacks that won the Super Bowl, and the three musketeers of three straight quarterbacks, starting quarterbacks, to win at least one Super Bowl. So that ought to do it for my super early predictions of the winner of Super Bowl 60. When it comes to sports in Singapore, you have your basketball, table tennis, aquatics, rugby, and tennis. The most dominant sport? Football. No, not American football. Association football, also known as soccer. Every time you listen to the radio or watch the news channel, when a sports update comes up, it is mostly news from soccer. In addition, in Singapore's gaming market, you can mostly find FIFA games, now EAFC, and NBA 2K games on physical store shelves. As far as I know, there has been no physical copies of Madden NFL games in gaming stores, and the only way to buy NFL games in Singapore is through digital storefronts such as Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation. As such, the NFL and American football as a whole are considered to be a niche sport in Singapore. It's important to know that when I say niche, doesn't mean that there is zero popularity with the sport. It is just that although the NFL is less popular in Singapore compared to the United States, it has a small, passionate community showing their passion and care about the sport. The Singapore American Football League and the Singapore Flag Football Association are the two non-American football groups that exist in Singapore as of today. These groups are formed by American football enthusiasts living in Singapore to introduce the niche sport and eventually creating an American football sports team just in time for the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. In terms of retail, Decathlon's flagship store near Mountbatten MRT station has a decent supply of American football gear such as the adult size and junior size footballs, as well as a rugby goalpost to mimic an American football goalpost for practicing field goals. In addition, online retailers such as Shopee and Carousel have a market of NFL jerseys. Although they are mostly off-brand fakes, they're still enough to garner a niche community in the sport. In addition, there are new era stores around Singapore that sell NFL branded caps, such as the Raiders, Patriots, and the Chiefs, just to name a few. Like I've stated before, NFL games such as Madden are not available in physical gaming retailers, but they are still available to play in Singapore via digital purchase. To top it all off, Singapore has an annual sporting event that plays similarly to American football, and that is the HSBC Rugby Sevens. I started watching the Rugby Sevens live on TV in 2024 due to my interest in the NFL, and that was the closest Singaporeans can get to an American football event. Overall, American football in Singapore continues to be a niche sport and is currently making good progress building its popularity. To me, I think that American football is reaching new heights in Singapore since 2024. Hey guys, before we begin my next point, while I'm writing the script for this video, I've stumbled across a report from TW 2005 about a potential collaboration between the Transformers and the NFL. You can see from these product shots that Wave 1 will include the Chiefs, Cowboys, Packers, and Steelers. Since Transformers has already reached global recognition, there can be a chance that the NFL collaboration toys can be sold in physical toy store shelves in Singapore, thus expanding the NFL's reach to the global market. Aside from that, that's pretty much it. Do let me know in the comments if you're excited for the Transformers and NFL collab, and maybe we can have a Transformers WWE collaboration in the future, or a separate NFL toy line from Hasbro. Just saying. 2024 saw a gradual uptick in the interest of the American football sport, and one celebrity made it possible. A music artist hailing from the United States, a billionaire, 4-time Album of the Year Grammy winner, and a 2-year blockbuster tour of the generation is Taylor Swift. Ever since starting her relationship with the Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce, the entire world exploded. Not literally. Since then, Swift's fan base integrated with the Kansas City Chiefs fans to form a new generation of the Chiefs Kingdom. On the international side of things, one of Swift's shows in her Asia leg of the Eras Tour includes Singapore, which already had a dedicated fan base to T Swift. After Swift won her 4th album of the year, she headed to Las Vegas to cheer for the Chiefs in Super Bowl 58 after her Tokyo shows. After a close win in overtime, the Chiefs won, and Swift indirectly won her first Super Bowl after winning Album of the Year at the Grammys. The internet caught fire from the Super Bowl victory, with news anchors such as Singapore's CNA headlining the Chiefs' win due to the popularity of T Swift. In addition, Swift's Eras Tour in Singapore took place during the NFL offseason, which allows tight end Travis Kelce to travel around the world, including Singapore, to support Taylor's show. In the final days of the show, when performing Karma, Swift changed the lyrics to "Karma is the guy on the Chiefs," a clear reference to the Chiefs tight end. From my experience on the third night, although Travis did not show up, some Swifties dressed up with Travis Kelce jerseys or any similar Chiefs apparel due to the high-profile relationship between Swift and Kelce. Meanwhile, the NFL made plans to market their brand into other countries. To begin with, 3 new international games are confirmed for future seasons, such as Madrid, Dublin, and Melbourne. What do they have in common? Obviously Taylor Swift, we get it, but that's not the main point. Ireland and Australia have professional rugby teams which play similarly to the NFL, especially with the Australian Football League from down under. Now back to Singapore. After the Eras Tour concluded in that country, during my freshman year in high school, I've seen students wearing NFL jerseys from legendary players such as Tom Brady, Eli Manning, and Tony Romo. During the school holidays, I joined the Singapore Flag Football Association as a player, and participated in training camps and attended league matches as a spectator to understand the rules of the game. Fast forward to December of that year, that's when Singapore finally caught a glimpse of the NFL in action. As part of their broadcasting deal with Netflix for 2 Christmas games, one of the games is the match between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because of Netflix being a global corporation, it was the perfect opportunity to showcase the American sport to the global market, including Asia. Therefore, American football fans in Singapore managed to watch their first live NFL game in history outside of paying cable TV packages, even if the game started overnight. As of today, Netflix is in the 2nd year of a 3-year deal with the NFL to broadcast holiday games. All in all, 2024 was a great year for American football fans in Singapore. The Eras Tour, Super Bowl 58, the HSBC Rugby Sevens, the Singapore Flag Football Association, and the Kansas City Chiefs NFL Christmas game on Netflix, just to name a few. All of these events culminate into the unofficial rise of the sport in Singapore at that year, and I think it is only the beginning. Expanding the NFL brand into the global market is not without risks, in which the league should analyze thoroughly. Reaching global markets is not as easy as establishing an NFL international game in a country. The executives of the NFL must study the popularity of the American football sport in each country before justifying the proposal of an international game there. Although Singapore has a niche community of American football enthusiasts and retailers selling NFL branded apparel, they are still not enough to justify the need from the NFL to expand their market to countries such as Singapore. Sure, there are plans to expand into the Asian markets such as China and potentially Japan, but most countries in Asia are more towards their most dominant sport, soccer. Market expansion is a common practice for businesses to expand their audience outside from the headquarter country, and the NFL is no exception. However, expanding the NFL's market can be a costly endeavor. Look at failed market expansions such as Planet Hollywood and Borders. These are the examples on how not to manage a market expansion. When proposing an expansion, businesses need to analyze the popularity of the brand in each country they are attempting to expand to. The same applies to the NFL. For example, if American football and rugby have a major following in country A, the popularity is justified for the NFL to expand their market to country A. However, if the two sports are dominated by others such as soccer and tennis in country B, there is no incentive for the NFL to expand their market there. Therefore, to earn revenue from market expansion, countries are required to have a healthy community of American football fans to justify why the NFL should expand globally. So here is my hypothetical proposal for the NFL to reach their market in Singapore. Aside from the Singapore Flag Football Association and Decathlon's array of US footballs, take some pages from MLB's playbook and establish an NFL brand flagship store somewhere in Singapore, whether it can be in Marina Bay Sands, Orchard, or Changi Airport. The NFL flagship store will include apparel from popular NFL teams of today, such as the Kansas City Chiefs, the New York Giants, the Las Vegas Raiders, and Los Angeles Rams, just to name a few. In terms of broadcasting, Netflix will be the main broadcaster for NFL Christmas games to be screened around the globe, including Singapore as part of their 3-year deal since 2024. As such, American football fans who are already subscribed to Netflix are able to watch the NFL in action live from their TV. In addition, the 2028 LA Olympics can be another driving factor to the boost in popularity of the sport, as Singapore's production studio MediaCorp has obtained a license to broadcast the Olympics. Furthermore, the Flag Football Association has been hard at work to train their players for Singapore's potential representation in the flag football sport at the LA Olympics. If the popularity of the NFL is big enough in Singapore to justify why the NFL should expand there, the NFL should at best schedule an international game held at Singapore's National Stadium as part of their regular season games. Based on the NFL apparel sold at New Era stores, the teams most likely to contend there are the AFC West teams, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Las Vegas Raiders. During the week of the international game, the NFL should organize pop-up stores and entertainment for tailgaters supporting their favorite teams. It is important to note that going through this process will be a slow build-up, as the American football sport is again not popular in Singapore. As such, broadcasting and merchandising should start first, before eventually proposing an international game if there is enough popularity to justify it. We're now in 2025, just a year after the slight uptick of the popularity in the American football sport. As of today, the Singapore American Football League, the Singapore Flag Football Association, and the Netflix Christmas Day games are the 3 major driving factors into the gradual rise of the sport's fanbase. It will be a long road to establish an expansion market in Singapore by the NFL, but with the 3 aforementioned factors combined with the upcoming LA Olympics in 2028, the NFL may eventually seek potential in expanding their market to our little red dot. Now let's answer the question that you came here for. Should the NFL be a global brand? Absolutely, but the progress to achieving global recognition will be a slow and difficult path to embark on. As stated before, the NFL should analyze which countries would want to see the league as part of their international games. And for countries in which the sport of American football is dominated by others, it takes a village to form a fan base before we can get to see the NFL in action. But what do you think? Should the NFL be a global brand? Which countries are qualified to justify the need for the NFL to expand their market to? Let me know in the comments below. If you do enjoy this video, give it a like and subscribe for more content. We'll go ahead and wrap this video up. This has been Kevin the Lonewolf, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!